Let's learn IIB. Today, I will show you how to enable user trace and extract information from Unix-based operating system. I have Windows on my laptop. To show you Unix-based commands, I will log into Docker first. Then, I will have to start my IIB runtime. IIB runtime has been started. Enter into the terminal of IIB container. To execute MQSI commands, you will need MQSI profile to be set up first. Now you can run MQSI list and other MQSI commands. Notice that port 4414 is where your broker runtime is exposing web GUI that maps to a port 32769 to expose the traffic outside the Docker container. Use browser to view the contents of your broker and integration server. As the execution group is empty, I will deploy some application into it for testing. We will enable user trace after that. Toolkit automatically creates bar file when you drag and drop your projects on integration server. I'm using one of those bar files for my demo today. Using WebGUI, deploy it. Deployment is successful. Now let's test the application using HTTP endpoint. .7800 is the default port for HTTP traffic that is mapped to 32768 for external networks. Now I don't remember the exact URL used for this application. That's why you see an error there. Let's find the exact URL using bar file. From broker.xml file, go find your URL, specify a string. Found it. Copy the string and paste in your browser and test your flow. Testing is successful. It generates a hard-coded XML message. Next step is to prepare user trace commands. I prepared a document for my reference using IBM knowledge base links. Using that, I execute commands on Docker, MQSI change trace, MQSI read log, and MQSI format log. These are the commands that you will have to execute. If you need a copy of this document, send me a message on YouTube or my Gmail ID and I'll forward it to you. While recording the video, I had some issues, and that is the reason you see the commands have already been executed. The first command failed as I did not find the flag F. F is for flow name. Fixing that now. See, the second command executed successfully. And the trace has been enabled. Third command is for before executing the third command and the fourth command, which is MQSI read log and MQSI format log, you have to trigger the HTTP endpoint so that some traffic flows into the message flow. MQSI read log and MQSI format log are shown on screen. Read log captures information from IIB runtime into a XML file. Format log changes the format to a readable text file from XML. Contents of the text file are shown on screen. Here I see the commands. Set output root.properties is equal to something. Create last child something. Set output root.xml and sc is equal to something. So I can see the is-equal statements along with the data. Executed the test twice. So 2 times those same statements are being shown. The next command is to look at the XML file. The XML file is not that user friendly, so I'm not going to read through that. I executed MQSI change trace and tried to switch off the trace. When I did that, my execution group crashed for some reason. I will use ps command to identify if my execution group has actually crashed. I first execute MQSI list. I see broker is running. I run MQSI list again with -e argument to see if my execution group is active. I see my execution group is also running. Now ps command to see when the execution group was shut down and when it started up. See the timestamp 000017. So this EG was active only a few seconds ago. This EG was started only a few seconds ago. This tells us the EG crashed and it was restarted by BIP broker command, BIP broker executable. Let's go to our MQSI folder and see if there are any more information or files that can tell us why the integration server crashed. We look at the C colon something file. Looks like I executed a Windows file command on Unix environment some time ago. I will delete that file now. Next, let's look at the execution group console logs. CD into components directory, then to your broker, then to your execution group UUID. You would find 2 files called stdout and stderror in this directory. Execute more command and read the contents of these 2 files. You can use PG, head, tail, VI, EW or just VI, whatever is your preference. Execution group console logs did not give any useful information for me. I will next look at the broker console logs. Nothing useful here either. Next, I will look at the errors folder within var MQSI. Errors directory is empty. If you look at the logs directory, it will give you information about the user trace files being captured by the broker runtime. These are binary files. You don't have to look into those files. Don't execute more command on them. Next, let's look at the system logs. Sysdaemon process captures logs into a file. Let's look at that. Execute tail command, pg command, more command, whatever you like. Look at the files. Based on your years of experience in IIB, you will learn what errors can be ignored and what errors you have to focus on. See, my logs have multiple errors where it says unable to open queue, so on. I'm going to ignore them because they do not cause execution group crash. You should see some entry which says tried to change the configuration, was unable to change the configuration, the process shut down immediately, something like this. Focus on that. Looks like there is some information that is relevant. See screen where a registry file of IIB was unable to be modified, was unable to, it was unable to find some file. This could be the cause of our error, but I'm not going to invest more time into this. let's call it a day, and we'll continue this on another video. Today we learned how to enable trace, how to view information in XML and text format from that trace.